Bibles, go to Genesis chapter 50, the last chapter in the book of Genesis. And a passage that a lot of you all know by heart. You probably could recite it, even children know. I want to look at verses 14 through 21. I really want to focus on the last part of it, but Genesis chapter 50, verses 14 through 21. While you're all returning, y'all there, still here, page, take your time, giving all praise unto God. Bishop West Mother, my lovely wife, preachers, deacons, most of all you all. Musicians, praise team. We got Genesis 50. I'm gonna read, let's say 15 through 21, and we'll be out. When Joseph's brothers saw that their father was dead, they said, perhaps Joseph will hate us and may actually repay us for all the evil which we did to him. So they sent messengers to Joseph, saying, before your father died, he commanded, saying, thus you shall say to Joseph, I beg you, please forgive the trespass of your brothers and their sin, for they did evil to you. Now please forgive them the trespasses of the servants of the God of your father. And Joseph wept when they spoke to him. Then his brothers also went and fell down before his face, and they said, behold, we are your servants. Joseph said to them, do not be afraid, for am I in the place of God? But as for you, you meant evil against me, but God meant it for good, in order to bring about as it is this day, to save many people alive. Now therefore do not be afraid, I will provide for you and your little ones. And he comforted them and spoke kindly to them. Verse 20, but as for you, you meant evil against me, but God meant it for good. I want to talk from the subject, recognizing purpose out of your pain. You may be seated. I want to talk this morning, recognizing purpose out of your pain. All right. Heavenly Father, I thank and glorify you, and I pray this morning, Lord, you would forgive me for sins committed by thought, word, or deed. I pray, Lord, you would move me, hide me behind the precious cross of Jesus Christ. Lord, I pray you will allow me to decrease, that the power of your Son may increase. Lord, let no flesh glory in your sight, but Father, be thou glorified in these hours. In Jesus' name I pray, amen. Recognizing purpose out of your pain. The objective, I'm going to go ahead and tell you this morning, the objective of this message is that it is to release you from past hurt, resentment, hatred, unforgiveness that you still may be harboring in your heart. This is going on the last week of November. We will have 4 to 5 weeks going into 2018. And there are some things this week that I want you, hopefully this passage that many of you know, I want you to listen to it, because there's some things that you're saying now you don't need to be saying next year. Amen. Amen. As we get started, many people today still wrestle with certain negative acts. I'll say amen for you. Amen. They wrestle with negative acts, treatment, rejection, and betrayal that has been committed toward them. Many people still carry around and harbor ill feelings because of things done to them in their past. I'll say amen for you. Then there are people today who carry so much unforgiveness in their heart that they truly cannot be happy. Amen. I think that's good right there. I'm still in the introduction, but I'm going to talk a little bit. There's a whole lot of folk right now, you having a good day. But as soon as you think about certain people that happened 20 years ago, your blood pressure go up, your facial demeanor changes, you start giving off a vibe of peace and harmony to nothing but vexation and hatred. But it happened 20 years ago. Pain and painful circumstances usually have a tendency to make us hard. Pain makes you toughen up. You want to talk about getting hard? Go through something. You talk about a child that's been bullied, let him get bullied long enough, he can suffer enough pain. Somebody gonna run up on the wrong time, and it's gonna be all over with. So he gonna say, no, I done got whooped enough. Now it's time to start giving some pain. Pain makes you hard. Pain and painful circumstances usually have a tendency to make us hard. But pain, just like hot water, could make some substances hard and also soft. This morning I want us to revisit a person who learned that there's more to pain than meets the eye. Because a lot of us, when we anything negative in our life, we tend to start acting funny. But none of us want to understand, as a believer, God does not let you go through for going through sake. As a parent, none of us wants to see our children hurt. But as a parent, we understand that there is a purpose in some pain that they go through. So in other words, we need to this morning have a different perspective about pain. How you and I as believers, how we view pain should be different than the world. Because first of all, nothing happens to me without God knowing. Whether I inflicted it on myself or he let it be, the end result is I'm always in his eyesight. So I want to let you know, pain makes you hard, or it can make you soft.
Yes, sir.
I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time and give you a quick snapshot over in Genesis. This is the last chapter. Moses was the author, and a lot of history has taken place. But when you come down to chapter 50, it talks about, really is talking about the end of Joseph. So let me give you a few bullet points to bring you up to speed. Some of you all already know it. But Joseph was Jacob's son, one of his sons. And if you go read the story, I think it's around 37 or so, Jacob was the favorite son. And the truth of the matter is, you parents, you do know that you cause a lot of problems in your house with your kids, but I ain't gonna scare you too long.
Watch out now. Watch out.
Like, you know me, I love that term, can't get right. You got one child that does everything good, and you let him or her know they just the apple of your eye. But then you got one that can't get right, and you let him or her know they can't get nothing right. But all along, then you wonder why when you go to the store, you come back, one child got a black eye and can't get right over there laughing. Because you done made such a separation that the older children going to say, I got you, mama, I'll watch him. Don't worry about it. He's in good hands, but the baby on the corner, please don't leave me, please don't leave me, please. Yeah, but see, he had a favorite child, he let everybody know. He also made him a coat of many colors. And the truth about it is, it's sad, but a lot of family discord has been caused by parents. But we move on. You know you my favorite. Even if you feel like that, you ought not say it. Because that means that one is the favorite, one is not the favorite. But anyway, that go back to rejection. That's last week's message. But anyway, he made him a coat of many colors. And the brothers didn't like him anyway. So it came a point that this Joseph was a special child. God let him dream a dream. And his dream was basically that his brothers was going to be bowing down to him. And like any other little teenage boy, he got the big head. Told his dad, here's another dream, and it meant y'all gonna be bound down too. So, he got to keep it in his head, but you know how it is, children, when you know you got it going on. You gotta paint a picture. You know how it is, you make it all age, you think you better than everybody else. You can't wait to bring your report home. See? Y'all made all F. Look what I made. What I get, mommy? Yeah, y'all know what I'm talking about. So he had a little teenage too, don't fool yourself. But he was not liked, and so long story short, he had these dreams. Now that's very important because he didn't know what they mean. Got to a point, his brothers hated him greatly. They took too long. I'm rushing the story. Jacob said, look, go check on your older brother. They plotted against him, said, we gonna see what happened to this kid. So long story short, they roughed him up, put him in a pit. They was really gonna kill him. But the older one said, no, put him in a pit, intending to come back and get him later. Yeah. Basically, they sold him into slavery and sent him to Egypt. You have a teenage boy because of hatred of his family, because they just didn't like him. And you cut on the news and you got brothers killing folk now over steak, or brothers did, you owe me $20, I'm gonna put a knife in your chest. So we got that now. But they sold him in. You got a 17-year-old boy get ready to get sold off to another place. And during that time, while he's in Egypt, I'm just rushing the story. Joseph is over in Egypt. Joseph had some highs and some lows. You all know the story. He went in. God was with Joseph. He got into Pharaoh's house. He rose to the top. He was in the penthouse, living life good, exalted favor. Then all of a sudden, folk lie on you. He went from the penthouse to the jailhouse. And now it's one thing to go to jail for something you did. Now I don't like going either way, but I can deal with it better if I did something. He's gonna be lying. I mean, I went when I was younger, and that's one promise I kept to the Lord. He ain't got to worry about it. Okay, I'm mad folk get me. I'm leaving my help at the house. I ain't trying to go to jail. That ain't where I'm supposed to be. They ain't gonna be lying about it. So my thing is, I'm mad if I go by myself, but if I'm going because you lied to me, that's a totally different ballgame. He got thrown in jail because y'all know Potiphar's wife was making pies that and he ran. And you all know that every brother probably would never be made to jail. Potiphar's wife just would have been in another situation. But he was a man of integrity. He got locked up for running from a woman. Ain't that something? I'm going to leave that alone. He got locked up running from a woman. Ain't that something? I'm going to leave that right there. But he got locked up. She lied on him. Potiphar put him in jail, for those that know the story. So even then, in the Bible, it say God was with him in jail. He was running the penthouse, the uphouse. But even in jail, God was with him. But that's a lot for a teenage boy. Even though, the truth of it is you don't like your siblings sometimes, and don't act like y'all do. Don't look at me like that. I told you before, the Cosby Show was fictional. There's some families that are pretty close, but don't fool yourself. There's some days you don't like your brother, you don't like your sister. That's just the reality of it. Don't we best buds here, teeth and tongue get in the way, so don't tell me y'all don't fight. Come on now, don't play. I ain't dumb. So now, but in the midst of all of that fighting, you love them. He's away from his dad, his mom, his dad, everybody's gone. He's in this place, I'm being mistreated. Life was good. Now I'm sitting in jail, and a whole lot of us would have said, God, I ain't thinking about you or nothing else. Because we do it now. God, it's the first time there's something negative happen in your life, you don't go to church. I'm mad at you. Why you let them lay me off? Why my car break down? I pay my tithes. Why this and that? Y'all, come on, y'all sleeping anymore. That's fine. I'm ready to go home anyway. That's fine. First time something happened. Why, God? Why? But he's 17, 18-ish. He's thrown in jail. Again, I'm going to say this. From running from a woman.
Oh, yes.
He's in jail over a lie. But God is still with him. Long story short, he's in jail a while. A butler and a baker, they dream, he interprets their dream. And sure enough, one gets out, he gets hung. And then the thing was the butler got out, and Joseph said, hey, by the way, when you get out, make sure you tell Pharaoh about me. And then the text says 2 years later passed. See, that lets us know that when God got you somewhere, you ain't going to get out until he's ready for you to get out. That's why I try to tell you all, the hookup is great with your job. It's always good to have somebody on the inside. But if that ain't the job for you, the hookup ain't going to help. Because there are some things in your life God want to make sure the only hookup you know work was his. So he spent some more time. Long story short, a famine came. And that was opportunity that God created opportunity for Joseph. The butler said, I remember this day, my wrongs. There was a gentleman in jail who he interpreted my dream. And so that was the opportunity for Joseph to go before Pharaoh. And Joseph interpreted the dream of the famine. And then Pharaoh was like, well, what should we do? And that was opportunity. God said, well, you know what? You've spoken such a great plan. I need for you to orchestrate everything.
Amen.
Joseph went from jail to being second in charge.
Yes, sir.
God used an opportunity to promote him. Nobody was above him but Pharaoh. All of a sudden, Joseph is now in Egypt running things.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
He's second in charge. He got a ring on. God took him from the jailhouse.
Yes, he
Now
will.
watch it. He let him come to the new land. He let him be in Pharaoh's house running stuff. He went down in the jail running stuff.
Yes.
Now he's running like the second run in the country running stuff. God will take you from nothing and put you over a whole lot.
Yes.
Can I help some of y'all stop belly aching about the little stuff you can't manage right now?
Lord, I thank you.
Y'all should have said amen. How come I ain't got the bigger house? You ain't managing the small one. How come I ain't got the good paying job? You ain't making ends meet with the job you got. Why would you give you 85 and you can't handle the 45? God don't waste nothing. But see, you got to realize all of his time down in the jail,
Lord, I thank
Joseph was being trained. That's why I try to tell you all, encourage you so much Sunday after Sunday. I don't care what you in, what you're in is preparing you for where you're going. Pastor, you don't know about my dead-end job. Yes, I do. Your dead-end job is preparing you for your next job. You don't know my raggedy car. Your raggedy car preparing you for the good car. You got to learn how to change oil in that car before you know about doing it in that car. If you don't take that car to go get the oil change, what you going to take that car for? I'm just tired of where I am. Why? You know why you tired? Because you ain't mastered where you are. Let me move on. Get y'all out of here. Got 10 minutes wrapped up. So he raises him up. For those who don't know the text, Joseph is running things. And it's something he says. I'm going to get to what this passage, these 3 points, we out of here. He's running things. And he eventually, Pharaoh gives him a wife.
Look.
And he has 2 kids, and those have been with me is very significant. He had 2 children. One was named Manasseh,
Yep.
and one was named Ephraim. But in naming those children, he told something about where he was,
Amen.
emotionally and every place else.
Yes, Lord.
Manasseh meant God has made me forget the pain of my daddy's house. See, a whole lot of us name our kids Jumbo.
See that?
See, but back then your name meant something.
Oh, yes.
They call you air conditioner.
Ah.
But people took time. Your name Crutch. So my whole life is going to be symbolized by a crutch.
Yeah.
But anyway, y'all, some help some of y'all maybe get ready to bear children.
Yeah.
Don't look at the stand. I'm calling you Mike Stand.
All right now. All right.
Y'all get the point? But when you go read the Bible, names meant something. His son's name was Manasseh. But Manasseh, he's saying, this is why I want y'all to understand, the message is short. Joseph is now looking around, he sees his baby.
Yeah.
But in looking at his boy, he looks around now. All the pain is gone.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Everything they did to me and they took from me
Yes, sir.
is gone.
Yeah.
Amen.
I ain't in the jail now,
Oh, yes.
but I'm running the country.
Oh, yes.
I ain't had no family, but I got my own now.
Oh, yes.
So the name of boy Manasseh means God has made me. He's trying to let you know that in time, sometimes you got to understand better way.
Yes,
You study looking at what folk did, and you need to look what God has given you. You still harping about what happened, but look what the Lord has done.
Oh, yes.
God took you from nowhere and took you somewhere. God took you from being a nobody and made you a somebody. But you're still harboring hate about what hurt you.
Amen.
First boy was named Manasseh, means God has made me forget all the pain. Then got another one named Ephraim. That meant fruitful. Put them together. On the left hand, God has made me forget all my pain. But on the other hand, God has made me fruitful. And I came to tell you better way, God has made some of y'all fruitful. But you can't enjoy your fruit because you're holding on to past treatment. Some of y'all will get ahead of myself. So Joseph says, I got these boys. Now what I like about this was when you read this, it's a long story. After that, God has elevated Joseph. He now has a wife, children, money and fame.
Oh yes, oh yes.
He's doing all right.
Yes.
But see, God can heal you,
Oh yes.
put you back together.
Yes.
But there does come a time that you got to make a reconciliation with your past. In other words, it's one thing to say I'm healed, but it's another thing to see them jokers that did it to you. How you know when you're healed, when you see them and you don't cringe? See, we church folk, we can talk the talk. How are you? I'm blessed and highly favored. But when you're over a joker, how you doing? I'm doing great. Bless the Lord. Can I help you? When you walk on and skip to the loo, that's when you know you're over somebody. Trying to help some of y'all. When y'all still walk by that certain someone and your hair stand up,
What?
or if you shave your head like me, you break out in the sweat.
Yeah.
You ain't over them.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and get some of you married folk in trouble. When you see the other person and they walk by and your spouse don't react, you good. Ain't nothing there. But when they see him, all of a sudden the day is messed up. Why? Because I ain't saying they in love with them, but the treatment is still an underlying issue. But if the treatment is still an underlying issue, that means I ain't got all of you. You still told some of them are still in you. But I want all of you. Every ounce. Let me get out of here. I'm feeling all right. I hope I encourage your heart this morning. But he said he sets him up. Joseph don't know what's happening, and neither do the boys. All of a sudden, the famine back in the land. Jacob said, go see if there's some food over there in Egypt. And y'all know who we run into. So all of a sudden, there's one thing to be healed better way. But there comes a time God gonna put you in position to see, are you really healed like you say you're healed? So his brothers walk up. He played some games on them because he had a mask on. He had to realize a whole lot of time to change. So his brothers come before him. He recognizes them, but they don't recognize him. So, you know, he played a few games. He told the leader, the young boy, Benjamin with him and all that. Basically, he's trying to tell them, you know, go bring dad back. But Joseph now is face to face, many years, with the folk that did it wrong. I'm going to ask you, but don't answer. Raise your hand.
All right.
How would you act when somebody sold you, put you in a ditch, got you sent to a faraway land, got you put in a jail, and after all that, even though you've been exalted, how would you handle that? And please don't, because some of y'all face expressions have already said it. Let me move right on. So long story short, get to the text. Be out of here in 3-4 minutes. The boys are back. There's a great reuniting. He finally reveals himself to his brothers. His dad ends up coming. They cry and everything. And they're in Egypt for a while. But chapter 50 now, he's getting ready to die. Well, it's coming. Jacob has died. And what we know of Joseph is off the scene. This is what I want y'all to understand. God will elevate you. But you have to come to a point of dealing with your past pain. Hear me good. Listen to this. You cannot fully enjoy your present purpose until you reconcile your past pain.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You cannot truly enjoy everything that God has given you and will give you in the future until you come to an understanding about your past pain.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
In other words, you can have all of the blessings and still not be happy because you still are harboring and feeding that little hurt of how you were done.
Yes, sir.
But as I give you these 3 points, The title of the message is recognizing purpose out of your pain.
All right.
Joseph did it. And this is what you have to understand. Better way, if you visiting or not, I'm making it personal for you this morning as I go. I'm going to give you 3 points. We out. A lot of us have been through some things. But if you look at where you are now, a lot of you all are in places that you never thought you would be. I'm going to walk these 3 points. They ain't long.
All right.
Because I wanted to hit you. Right now, a lot of you are still seeing people in your hurt. Why God? Why God? Why God? I want you today, I'm going to give you 3 points. I want you to take inventory. Look at where you were. Look how folk did you. Look at where you've been. But look at what you got now. But you're still talking about how folk hurt me. They lied on me.
Yes, sir.
They rejected me. But this morning, Joseph does something that blesses me. When you really recognize the purpose of your pain, in 15 through 19, I'm going to tell you what it talks about. The boys start saying, now that Joseph, they say, now dad is dead, you know, get ready to die. We your servants, Joseph. Joseph goes on and says, the first point is he says, don't fear, if I in the place of God, watch this, when you recognize the purpose of your pain, you be able to forgive. When you understand, they all right, I'm getting ready to finish. When you understand there's a reason, y'all come on, look at me.
Yes, sir.
When y'all got to learn how to tune stuff out. Come on now. If I didn't preach and do it, I know y'all can look at me and do it. Come on now. Come on now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
When you understand, God allowed some things, whether you deserved it or not, He allowed it. If He hadn't allowed it, you would not be where you are right now. And so if that's the case, why are you holding on to what He allowed?
Yes, sir. All right. All right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right.
If it was for my good, why are you still crying over it?
Yes, sir. All right.
Stop looking at the pain and start realizing your purpose.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
The first thing is, when you really recognize the purpose of pain, you'll be able to forgive. Because the truth about it is, better way, the people in places that hurt you, you are so far removed from them, it's unreal. Good God. Do you know where they reside? In the recesses of your mind. Some people that hurt you may even be dead and gone or live in another state, but they live in your mind because you let them. Holy Ghost talking this morning, take what you want. They gone, but you carry them around. But when you recognize the pain of your purpose,
Yes, sir.
you can forgive folks.
Oh, yeah.
Because you can really look at them jokers sometimes and say, you know what? You really hurt me. But if you had not hurt me, I wouldn't be where I am right now.
All right.
If you didn't hurt me, women, I don't know who he is, but if they hadn't have done what they did,
Yes, Lord.
you wouldn't be the woman you are today.
Yes, sir.
Man,
Yes. Go ahead.
if she hadn't done it to you, you wouldn't be the brother you are.
It's all right.
Some of the stuff y'all got, you wouldn't have it or let. Watch this. If God let them jokers take that stuff in order to give you new stuff. But you crying because He let them take their own stuff. When you recognize the purpose of your pain, you can forgive.
Yes, sir.
There's the ability to recognize God's sovereignty.
Yes,
Keep
sir.
playing. Watch this, verse 20. Joseph was able to say this. He said, look here in 20. He says, look, as for you, you meant evil against me. But God meant for good. See, when you understand your reason for it,
Oh, yes.
it makes sense now.
Yes.
In other words, he didn't make excuses. He says, as for you, you meant it for bad. You meant it. Watch this. I wouldn't look up the word evil.
Oh, yes.
Evil, meant. As for you, you meant. That means to plant or to weave. You wove some stuff for my demise.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes. Oh, yes.
There been some folk in your life that web.
Yeah.
They web some weaves
Yes, sir.
for you. They plaited some stuff for your
Yes,
demise.
Yes, sir.
Yes, they did.
I can imagine just like what Delilah did Samson. Just plaited. It's some folk that plaited.
Yep.
And they were weaving some stuff together for your detriment.
Yes. Yes.
Joseph says, as for you, you meant evil against me.
Oh, yes.
He's acknowledging the fact you did it. But what I want you to understand about that is, God allows people to exhibit their true nature.
Yes, sir.
So in other words, God, you let that man treat me like that? No. That man treated you like that because that was in his nature.
That's right. Amen.
God just allowed it for the purpose of providing an opportunity to show you who he is. God did not send that pain. He let people act out who they really are.
Amen. Yes.
It's all right. It's all right.
Yes.
Why you treat me like that? That scoundrel go like that all the time. You just too blind to see. No. But she was a gold digger when you met her. You just blinded by the smile.
Yeah.
Y'all probably know. You just acted out. God could have stopped his brothers, but that's who they were. And you have run into some people in your life. Some of them you chose.
Yeah.
Some of you didn't.
Amen.
But God just let them be who they were. In other words, he could have said, I'm not going to let it happen, but this is what we have to understand. God is saying, I'm going to allow this because this is going to push them to where I want them.
Yes, sir.
It's going to hurt me, but I'm going to be right there with them. That's why sometimes we got a relationship and say, God, how come you didn't stop me? No. He let it be.
His will.
Because they're going to create a need in you for me to step in and show you who I am.
Yes, sir.
He says, you meant it for evil. Watch this. Keep playing. Pain in the Bible often causes movement. God uses pain to move
Yes, sir.
and to propel us into what we want.
Oh, yes.
Joseph understood. He understood that he could forgive them because he says, I see the big picture.
Oh, yes.
Better way, I'm coming to you this morning. All God wants you to sit back today and look at the big picture.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Joseph can sit back and say, you meant it for bad
Yes.
because I see the big picture.
Uh-huh.
But then he goes on to say, watch, I love it because pain pushes you. How many of you all know Jesus could not have went to the cross if Judas hadn't betrayed him? Y'all missed it. Betrayal pushed him into his purpose. Your betrayal pushes you into your purpose. I'm gonna stop there. I'm gonna save some time, Sunday school teacher. Some of us, my friend did it to me. They rejected me. They betrayed me. But that betrayal pushed you
Yes, sir.
into what you would eventually be. God didn't send Judas. Judas acted on his own.
Yes, sir.
But Judas moved Jesus to his painful purpose.
Yes, sir.
All right.
And there have been some things in your life that have happened that have moved you into your painful purpose.
Yes, sir.
Pain is an instrument that moves us all, but God uses painful experiences to heal us. He said this, you meant it for bad,
Yes, yes, yes.
But God meant it for good.
Oh, yes, oh, yes.
In other words, when you really understand the purpose of pain, that's what I want to say. Stop looking at your pain and what it cost you. Look at your painful experiences and how they moved you.
Yes, sir.
Amen. Amen.
Paul said, when it related to the thorn, you gonna move it? God said, nope, I ain't gonna move it.
That's right.
Then God said, my grace is sufficient. Then God talks about my power is made perfect in weak.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Amen.
Church, when you're broken,
Yeah.
that's when you can. People say, have you ever heard people prophesy, ooh, you highly anointed. You doubly anointed.
Yes.
Do you want to know what a real anointed person look like?
Man, what?
A broken person.
Show live.
When you can't stand nothing, don't come brag about your anointing to me.
Yeah.
Broken, in your brokenness, the Spirit of God moves in your life.
All right.
That's why you're able to withstand your brokenness, because it is then that the power of God is resting in your life.
All right.
So don't tell me about your being doubly anointed because you can prophesy. Your doubly anointed is how much you can withstand.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right.
That's an anointing.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Church, today, understand this. The things in your life, order some of them you didn't. But stop looking at how bad it hurt you. But I want you to take inventory of your life today. Look at where you are.
Yes, sir.
Look at the person you've been.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
But you wouldn't have got there
Yes, Lord.
if there was no negative, if there had been no betrayal. There had been no bad decisions.
Thank you.
There had been no lies. You wouldn't be who you are. The third thing he did, and I'm gone. When you understand the hurt, the pain, you finally walk in your purpose. Joseph finally knew, number one, you meant it for bad. God meant it for good. And the reason he meant it for good because he put me in this position to save him.
Amen.
When you understand your purpose, and I'm done. How many times do I tell you, your purpose is going to bless everybody else.
Oh, yes.
Yes, sir.
I am. Some of you all, I've told you before, I'm telling you now. Some of these deep hurts that you're still struggling with, that's going to be where your ministry comes from.
Amen.
Watch. A lot of you in here are going to run into another you somewhere down the line.
Show enough.
You going to see another you.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Joseph understood that you meant it for bad, but all this is because God was trying to preserve you. Joseph took inventory. He allowed God to heal him. And Joseph understood the purpose of his pain. Better way, I ask you, take inventory. When you think about all the negativity, turn around and look at all the positive that you have in your life.
Yes, sir.
Amen. Amen.
I end on what was told to me in the sermon years ago. For all those people that hurt you, that counted you out,
Yes.
scandalized your name,
Yes.
call you everything but a child of God.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
What you do,
Uh-huh.
if you ever see him, if you ever see him, come here, Jeremiah. Stand right there. You stand right there. If they ever see him,
Oh, yes.
all you do is just walk to him and say,
Thank you.
Amen.
for what? You beat me like a dog.
Oh, yes.
But thank you.
Yes.
You know, you ran off and left me with nothing. But I thank you.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
When you can sit back and look at people that did it to you and say thank you.
All right.
Because God allowed that pain
Yes, sir.
that you're the person you are. I finished the doors of the church.
Amen.